I can't believe this is actually ending. Next, you know, life turned up for the better. That's what I mean. Or that's why this makes sense, or like that's why. Well, welcome back to another episode of Unrehearsed Season 3. How y'all doing? It's your boy, Deshaun.
Demir Rod.
You feel me?
Right.
We love and appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode of these great conversations, these authentic conversations. You know what it is. It is real, forever transparent, forever authentic, unrehearsed, back again. Links in the description. If y'all rocking with us, rocking with the season, rock with our music as well. You know what I'm saying? We not just podcasting right now. We like some artists for real, and not like some little artists, or we be trying to do like a little music thing, but like we really about this for real. You know what I mean? So check out our music. Check us out. You feel me? Links in the description to follow us on the socials. And all of our stuff, all up in the description. But how you doing today, bro?
I am doing phenomenal. I feel a little more awake.
Oh, just finna say, I feel the same way, bro.
I don't know if you just seen a second ago, my leg went from here to here.
Yeah.
I think I feel limber. I feel young again. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah. I accidentally shaved my goatee off. So I just went back a few years.
Mm-hmm. Turn back the clock.
Turn back the clock a little bit, even though it took me 16 years to get here. But yeah, no, dude, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling blessed. I feel highly favored right now, you know. And it's a Sunday.
And it's a Sunday.
You know what I'm saying? It's God's day.
You feel me? I'm here for that. I feel awake. I needed that laugh. We were just rolling before the camera turned on. I needed that laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, laughter is good for the soul, man.
It's the best medicine, bro.
It is.
It's the best medicine,
the
dog.
love language, as I call it.
Yeah. Nah, for real. Humor is legit, bro.
Nah,
like,
for real.
you know what? I be like, girl, what's your spectrum of humor? You know what I'm saying?
Like, what's your sign? I'm like, what's your kind of funny?
Yeah. Is it a broad range of humor?
Facts. Are we talking dark?
Yeah.
Okay, are we keeping it light?
But yeah, no, I feel great. You know what I mean? It is a Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? We knocking this out. I'm knocking this out before church and stuff like that. But I feel great. And what we diving into on our last episode, we hit a note on growth that I wanted to like further unpack. You know what I mean? I feel like oftentimes I'm like, man, you know, we can unpack that for another 30 minutes, but in the next episode we talk about something else.
Yeah.
Which is fine, you know what I mean? But like I wanted to like dive more into that one because I feel like that's just a topic that really doesn't get old when you think about it. Because with the way that I personally want to live my life, and to each his own. But the way that I personally want to live my life is like I never want to get tired or bored of growing. I never want to look at myself in the mirror at 26, 36, 46, 56, however old I am and be like, this is a finished product. I'm good.
Yeah.
And just kind of, you know.
Be super stagnant.
Yeah.
like, alrighty then.
Right.
Man.
Like,
there's my cap.
Right. Like,
I've reached the ceiling of how much I can be of me.
Exactly. It's like I don't want to close the door on being open-minded and learning or just looking at myself and being like, you need to do better.
Yeah.
You know, and going back to 2025, because I know that's how we kind of got to that topic in our previous episode, that was one of the uncomfortable moments. It was like having that honest conversation with myself and saying the things. There was a moment, and I don't think I ever said this out loud. So bump on the podcast. I don't even know if I said this out loud before. But there was a moment, a quick span of time for 2025 where I had to have an honest conversation with myself and say the things that, yeah, it may have been me being hard on myself, but I feel like I had to say the things that certain others were thinking but not saying, giving how I had moved tail end 2024 going into 2025. That led to 2025 starting the way that it did for me. And it literally, I was having the conversations of, in a nutshell, like, you was hot garbage. like I can laugh about it now, but I was literally having those moments where I was like, for XYZ reasons, you was hot garbage.
Define hot garbage in this aspect.
Getting out of character.
Ooh.
Getting out of character. And there's multiple ways to get out of character. I don't want to make
a lot of ways to get out of
character.
character.
I don't want to make it seem like I was just like burning down the world or something like that.
But there's definitely a lot of ways that you could switch up on yourself.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it was getting. It really just boils down to getting out of character. There was a brief crash out moment. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I've been raised to be, a stand-up dude. So when you do have your moments, you go and make it right.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I went and made it right and stuff like that. And it was been watered under the bridge. Honestly, ain't nobody ever thinks about it because it was just a little quick moment. You know what I'm saying? Where I just got a little carried away. But it all really just boils down to, for that season, that span of time, you got out of character.
Yeah, nah, dude. Oh my gosh, that literally just gave me PTSD, bro. That last year, it had been. Prior to last year, I want to say it had been a good 2 years before I really crashed out. Since I crashed out. With 2025, dude, I had one moment. I'm not gonna give the full story, but long story short, there was an intervention happening in my family, and it just so happened to be my turn at the table. Dude, and it's so funny because like I'm one of 8 siblings. I don't know if anybody knew that. But I have a lot of siblings. Wow. And we were, a lot of us were home for, I don't know, if it was a holiday or something. We're all at our family's house. We're all around the table. And it's a beautiful moment, for us to be in the same place all at the same time, to be kicking it, talking. And out of nowhere, dude, it just got to that moment where it's like, it just gets super real. And for some reason, it was, oh, it's your turn. It's your, everyone is saying stuff at you. And, being one of 8, dude, you do kind of grow up a little defensive, especially if you're one of the youngest ones.
You one of the younger ones?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm literally one of the youngest ones. So like for me to have a voice or to find my voice, like at a young age, I had to get a little bit loud. You know what I'm saying? So that it could cut through some voices, bro. So. It was so funny. Well, not funny. Well, it's funny now.
In hindsight,
yeah. In hindsight, for sure. But in the moment, crashing out, dude, you just kind of lose all sense of like self for real, dude. It just goes, and but I say all that to say it ended up being a beautiful moment because from that crash out, a lot of people in that circle have gotten a lot closer now. So it was like a big moment, and it ended up just like kind of changing the course of like how it feels in the family. So we feel like super way more close knit. So if somebody had to crash out, I guess I'm glad it was me.
Yeah.
So that there was a cap to the crash out.
Yeah. Lesson to take from that. Crash out, y'all. No,
crash out every chance that you can get, dude.
It brings people closer when you crash out.
Even when you're crossing the street and like that old lady's like going too slow, tripper, you know what I mean? Like,
or if you're in a car, speed up.
Dude, speed up. Bumper cars, you know what I mean? You ever played bumper cars in real life? Yeah. Just because you're mad that day, do it, brother.
But no, that's good. I'm glad that, for the both of us, it sounds like those crash out moments that we had, it wasn't like the for lack of a better term, like the those bad kind of crash outs where it's like, dang, you just burnt a bridge.
Yeah, now you're in jail, or now you burnt a bridge. Now you don't talk to that person anymore.
Yeah, like you ain't no coming back.
Dude, those are the worst ones, man. Those are the worst ones, bro. And I don't think I'm never the problem. No, I just kidding. I'm just messing with you now. But I don't think I've ever crashed out to the point where like it was on my end that the bridge is completely like tore up. Like I don't think I've ever even found the words in myself where it's like, oh yeah, this gonna get him. This gonna get him.
I got something for y'all today.
Like I'm about to take your heart. Like, I don't think I've gotten there, and if I did, I was probably like 2 years old, bro. Like, first learning how to talk. Like, but I think since I've learned emotion, I don't think I've taken it there, and I'm just not that kind of person. If anybody knows me, bro, 9 times out of 10, dude, I'm preaching in some kind of way, or it feels preachy, just because like I like to just spread like life and love, and like whatever my story is, it always comes off light, laughter, happiness, because I think it's so important, bro. There's so many tough things about growth.
Yeah.
There's so many hard things that come with growth. That's like, why not say it or live it in an ingestible way, where it's like, it's happy, it's love, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like crashing out, like, dude, at that time, dude, it was terrible. It was like, bro, like for the next 2 days, it was like I felt anxious, bro. I'm just ready to, I'm ready to break something. But it's like, but you could talk about it, you could laugh, and you could see how it is light, you know what I mean? Because like it's just one thing in a whole book of things that is happening that makes you a whole person. Yeah. And growth, like you said, you can't really get bored of growth. Because you keep on changing. Like, because again, like, it feels like if I was faced with that same situation, I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't allow anything to get me out of character. You know what I mean? Or that's what you think, again, until you're faced with, again, a situation further down the line, and you crash out again, and you got a new crash out. You got an adult crash out. Like, what is a mature crash out? Like, what does that look like? You know,
strongly worded letter.
Yeah. Ooh. I can't
type that email.
Ooh, backspace. Maybe not the last word. Yeah.
That's important. Like, you can't get bored of growth, and so I had to ask myself, how did this happen? Because I'll be honest, I came up having anger problems as a kid. I'm just a hothead, My mom says I got her temper, and my mom got a quick fuse and stuff like that. And so, but as a man, you got to really...
You got to check yourself.
As a black man.
You got to check yourself, or you wreck yourself.
As a minority.
Yeah.
Quick fuse out here?
Chill out, brother.
Relax.
Brother.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Leg day. Don't skip it.
Facts.
Put some extra 45s on that squat rack if you need to.
Bro. See how really tough you are.
Yeah.
And go all the way down.
Full range of motion. Go all the way down. But I had to ask myself, how did I get to that point? Because you're not, at least in my situation, I'm not crashing out on on the boxing bag, you know what I mean, in like a garage or something. I'm crashing out on the people closest to me.
Yeah, which tends to be the crash out.
And that's unacceptable. Yeah. They ain't did nothing. They tried, if anything, they may even be trying to help the situation or something like that.
For sure.
But like, I had to ask myself, like, yo, what got to this point? Yeah. How did I get here? Those are the questions that I ask myself when I'm trying to grow and trying to, go through that uncomfortable process of growth. And then once I figured that out, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You start retracing your steps and stuff like that. And you start realizing what you did or what you allowed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because maybe you didn't actually go and do something, but you probably just allowed a door to be open to let certain things into your life or into your headspace that have no business being there.
For sure.
And
or like take things for what it is right here. Like, even when you're crashing out, right? Sometimes, like, a crash out can come from, like, now you're thinking about more things, either about this person or about a situation, and things are adding on. Kind of like a negative thought. Yeah. You get one negative thought, like, oh, dang, bro, I can't believe they messed up my coffee. And now your whole day, you see messed up coffee moments everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, bro, cut me off. It's like, dude, you get cut off every day, bro. Yeah. And that place you go to always makes shitty coffee. Like, you know what I mean? So, but it's important to, like, keep the moment where the moment is. You know what I mean? And, like,
don't carry it with you.
Oh my goodness. And I've realized that, like, if I ever get into those kind of states, like asking myself that question of how did I get here, dude, 9 times out of 10, I'm defending something that doesn't even matter. Whether it's pride, whether it's ego, or whether it's even in the conversation. Yeah. Like, the hardest thing that I've learned, like you said, you were like a hothead as a kid. I think I've always had a temper, but my problem is like words. I've been a smartass since like my first words were invented. You know what I mean? Like witty.
Yeah.
And like you can use wittiness to like a
Yeah.
really
As an
negative
attack. Yeah.
dude.
As
Oh
a
my
weapon.
gosh,
Yeah.
bro. You know that annoying kid who was in class like talking back to the teacher and was like, bro, chill. And he just keeps going. Bruh, that was me, bro, to a crazy extent.
Wow.
And it's so hard not to do that now. It's so hard not to defend a point. Or when somebody says something that you deem as like, oh, you just lost. Like, here you go. Game time. You know what I mean? Oh, you were doing really good till you said that last sentence. And then you like I've always had a problem with like making people feel dumb in conversation. And I think that's kind of what I've learned is like, yo, what are you defending? You know what I mean? Like, what is this feeding? You know what I mean? How is this helping you grow? How is this helping the conversation flow? How is this helping you get to to understanding? I think that's what I've learned within this last couple of years of my own personal growth is just being able to like actually seek understanding when somebody's talking. And if you can't seek understanding, bro,
that's good.
You have to somehow you have to give yourself your own like some sort of acceptance or closure, because like you're not 9 times out of 10, bro, or I'm not gonna say 9 times out of 10, but there's a lot of times that you won't get closure from a conversation, from a person, from the person you loved, from the homie, or from like the reason somebody did something. It's like, bro, sometimes you gotta it is what it is. You know what I mean? And you got to learn your own lesson from it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. And you gotta keep it pushing. You gotta you gotta like learn from it, but don't try to create some kind of subject that it's not. Like, don't try to create some kind of growth where it wasn't, or make it an attack on that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got a difference in opinion, and that is okay.
Yeah,
bro.
and I was gonna ask. So like, how for you? Because that's something I struggle with. Like, how do you get? I hate being confused. I be in my head too much. So last thing I want to do is be in my head and be confused at the same time. Because I just feels like, man, that's kind of hard to stop that
cycle.
And so I'm like, how do you get understanding or just accept things for what it is when you really do not get it? Like when it really don't make sense. Like I'm talking about when something throw you for a loop, big curveball, big loop, and it's like, yo, I would never expect that out of that person or out of that situation. Or I made sure I checked every single box. How did I'm making an album? I'm kind of talking about some of this stuff on the project, and I'm like, how did this happen when I did this? Or
how did this reaction get from this, and I tried to do this, or this was my intention? I think that well, for one, there's no like great sage answer,
right? Yeah.
But what I would say though is you can only control what you do, and you can never control somebody's reaction to what you do, right?
Yeah.
So like you could love somebody every single day, and every moment you think about them and you think about their safety, and then that same day, towards the middle of the day, they're gonna look at you and say like, do you love me? And you're like, what did you just say to me? You know what I mean? I've been stressing over your ugly all morning, bro, and it's like it sucks, man. It sucks, but it is what it is. Or you could try to marry somebody and like that person wasn't for you, or they didn't feel the same way. Which like, bro, we lay with each other, like we talk every day, or you know what I mean, this and that. But I think so for me, I think it's more accepting again that like I cannot control the other side, and I think releasing the thought of you being able to control it is what helps me personally. Because like I think that's control. And like when you asked me, oh, like if you're confused and you're this, but you wouldn't expect this, and it's like, yeah, but what are you gonna try to get somebody to talk in circles to explain why they did what they, you know what I mean? You're not gonna get an understanding. Like that's like asking somebody why did they cheat on you. So what are they're gonna tell you? Oh, I was sad, like I was this, bro, that's still not gonna give you an understanding of why they actually went out and actually completed the objective. Because cheating, you have to be thinking about it the whole time. You can't just turn a person out of your brain and then it's like, oh, now, boom. Oh,
Yeah.
I completely forgot I was in love with somebody else. It's like, nah, that is premeditated.
Yeah.
Premeditated. And but that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't think there is understanding. I think you just learn from the situation. Like, learn that can actually happen to you. I think that was the biggest thing for me is like you just said, I couldn't expect that. I can't believe that. Bro, those moments is when I realized that shit could happen to me. You know what I mean? I think that was the biggest thing is like, dude, don't think you are above this terrible situation. This can happen to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, somebody who you care about can betray you. Your closest friends could talk bad about you. You know, I think that was so eye-opening, the last one that I said, that people can talk bad about you. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm above like talking mess or like ever find myself in a gossiping situation.
Yeah.
Of course, bro, you're human. At some point in time, you can say sentences that are going to come off as if like it's not positive, bro. You're not spreading light. You're not always in your you're not always present with every sentence, you know what I mean? And it is important to be, you know, you shouldn't like you should never stop growing and, you know, be heed to your words. But again, people can be talking bad about you. Doesn't matter how cool you are. Doesn't matter how nice you are. Doesn't matter how you make them feel. And you're laughing and you're always goofy. Like, dude, it's so funny. Like, I'll be thinking about it sometimes, or I'll hear certain things that people have said about me, and I'm like, mind you, whenever I'm around them, it's all laughs and smiles and rainbows and gumdrops. It's like, oh, the man's here. And then as soon as you leave, it's like, oh, that's what you think? And somebody came back and told me. And then you're faced with that decision or that choice the next time you see them. What do? Are you still cool, Deshaun? Are you still down to earth? Are you still
crash out?
Are you like, or do you address the situation? Or is it not important enough to you? Like, there's so many things that go through my brain when I hear something negative like that. But it's like, hey, I think, to wrap up my long-winded answers, like,
A great answer, by the way.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just like,
I feel like I'm being poured into. I need to hear a lot of this, bro.
yeah, dude, it's really acceptance. And it's the craziest thing. But, like, in my opinion, sometimes acceptance is clarity. Meaning, like, you're accepting that it is never going to change. Whatever happened, and you there's no going back because it's already done. It's already in the books. And the further and further you get away from a situation, the harder it is to actually get down to the root of what it was, because whenever you talk to whoever that person is again, it's the growth version.
Right.
And as you continue to grow, the further and further you get away from something, you forgot how the seed looked. You forgot what soil you use. You already a plant now. You know what I mean? And so some things already grow.
Ooh, it's deep.
That deep. But nah, for real. So I think, accepting, bro. Accepting that it is what it is.
Yeah. Dang, I didn't think that answer was going to hit me like that. I just had to, down and listen. Because, like, there was a moment last year in 2025 where I was kind of doing one of the things that you hit it on, was questioning, in the sense of trying to get that understanding, trying to, I mean, there's nothing necessarily wrong with
understanding.
Yeah, it's not necessarily wrong with like asking a question.
Yeah.
For the sake of understanding, but it was, you know, as you were laying it out, it may have been like I was never it didn't matter the questions I asked. It didn't matter the answers I get.
Yes, because you're trying to, like, bro.
Because, like, sometimes situations or people or people just do things that it just don't make sense to you, because you're not them, or you don't have their background or their way of thinking that could lead them to doing something like that, or the situation being like what it is. Right. So it can be very difficult, and depending on the situation, kind of near impossible, trying to place yourself in their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there was, as he was laying that out, I was like, I kind of did that. Like, I was like trying to come up with every single question I can ask to try to get as much answers I could so I can have some sort of understanding of how in the world that could have happened. When I remember, I ain't gonna front. I remember I spoke with a therapist one time, and I told him, I just gave him the details of everything that just went down, and bruh literally said, "That's effed up." Like, and I kind of told him where my headspace was. Like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like why could this happen or why could the person do this, and I kid you not, his literal answer was, "People sin, bro."
Yeah.
I'm looking for this elaborate.
Yeah, bro, but he just gave it to you straight.
I'm looking,
It is what it is.
literally, like, I'm looking for this, like, deep philosophical answer. I'm going to God in prayer. I'm flipping through scriptures. I'm talking to this person here. I'm talking to this trusted person here. I'm going to a therapist here. And bro was literally like, people sin, dude.
Yeah.
That's really all it come down to.
Yeah. And that's
I was like,
isn't that the scary part too about like seeking understanding is like in your brain, like we don't think about this consciously, but like subconsciously we're looking for a specific thing that we think is gonna hit. Like a specific way, even if you ask the question in a way that you led them to a specific answer, it's like you're still low key looking for them to say this or something like this, and then maybe lead you down a rabbit hole so that it's more than you could have imagined. You know what I mean? Something profound. Oh wow! You know what? I do forgive you. Like no, no, you're not gonna feel that way. The forgiveness and all that stuff, bro. That's in the soul. That's like you letting go of like soul ties to your emotions and to the outcomes that already outcomed.
yeah, that already happened.
That already happened, bro. And yeah, I think so that's why it's cool that your therapist said it like it was, because that sometimes it's that simple. You know what I mean? I think the clarity, that's the craziest part about clarity, bro.
That's so hard to freaking understand.
The clarity part
is
the clarity part, the messed up part about the clarity, like that now I'm healed, is the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like that's why, like, so, like sometimes when we're talking, you know, as a young man, all I'm thinking about is a relationships, because it's the easiest thing, bro. You can put every emotion, everything that we talk about, growth and betrayal, all those feelings, I can always think about a relationship that happened in this way or this felt like this. And you know what's funny about even seeking clarity with like something like that? It's like, are you prolonging your healing process by even asking these questions? You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. It's cool to get clarity on specific things in your past, but it's like in reality, it's like there's a certain amount of acceptance that you have to have with yourself that this isn't even necessarily something that's elevating you. If anything, this is like you're like circulating. You know, you're in some kind of cycle by even questioning this.
By staying stuck in there.
Yeah, bro, what are you gonna learn when that's I feel like I seen a TikTok or Instagram recently, and it was like it was a funny TikTok, but it was a dude, and he was just talking like, bro, if so and so does this to you, or so and so does this to you, so and so does this to you, it's like, bro, getting the answer of the reason why genuinely doesn't matter. That's the simplicity of it, because it already happened. Unless there's somebody who like is gonna be in your life continuously after the fact that they did that, I can understand you trying to build this kind of wall up to see like, okay, maybe I give them another chance at this or that. But if they're not in your life anymore,
what's the point?
You asking the reason why is actually insanity, because it's like what you're literally just using more words. You're using more breath. You're giving more energy to it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta keep it pushing. It's as simple as that. Because there's other things that is gonna come up that is gonna be more in the present that you need to work on.
Yeah, more priority. And it's funny because as we was talking about that, or as you was laying that out, the thought came to mind. It's like if I can go back in time to that version of me that was, you know, doing all of that questioning, I would present me who was questioning so much with the question. I would ask myself, what are you really looking for?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Most of the time,
That's what came to mind. It's like, what are you trying to find? What do you want to, like, if you had a doorway and you found what you wanted to find, what does your finding look like?
energy.
And like what, because there's nothing that I could have been told. Like, even like my therapist, the person I went to, they was right in the fact that, it really just came back to the point that, people can do messed up things.
Yeah, simple.
But where my headspace was at in that time was like, yeah, I know that, but it's got to be something else that applies to this too, right?
Yeah,
It's like, no, it's just maybe, but it really just comes down to the fact that, like he said, like, people sin, bro.
Yeah, like you sin, you've done
all
people
do.
you've done people wrong,
Mhm.
and hopefully in the future you don't, make those same mistakes again.
Yeah.
But like at some point in time, bro, somebody feels the way you feel about whoever. Somebody felt that way about you in one way or another. It doesn't matter what you did or what you didn't do. The feeling,
That's deep.
you can't take away the way somebody felt about something. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. If they feel like you betrayed them in that moment. I remember I had a homie, and I was doing a show. It was one of the first times I'd ever performed with him, and then after we got off out of the show, he went to go put his instrument up and do all those things. And when I get out of a show, if I don't have to immediately put my instrument down, you immediately go into the crowd, or you immediately go to talk to the people. They shower you with love, hopefully, because you did a great job, or you network immediately afterwards, because it's like, now whoever you're shaking hands with or kissing babies with, and now it makes more sense because you have validity of who you are. You just showed it and displayed it. And in the moment, I am now like taking pictures with other artists, and I'm vibing out, and it's like a vibe, and the other person is putting their gear up, so they're not getting that same experience. But then when they figured out that like I was getting that experience, they were like, bro, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you, like, felt like, just like FOMO, like left out, like that it was like almost intentional. And we had to talk it through, and I was like, I wasn't even thinking that at all. You know what I mean? It's like I literally just, this is what you're supposed. And I'm not gonna say this is what you're supposed to do, but like,
That's just how you move.
this is how you move in
Yeah,
this space, dude. This is how you move, and but again, I cannot discredit this person's feeling,
Right. Yeah.
because they felt a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if my intention was there or not. My intention is to get as much out of whatever moment that I'm in. And use it to the fullest, or get whatever God is supposed to bring to me. And it ended up being a great conversation, but again, it just popped in my brain because I was like, oh snap, I literally did actions that were positive for me that felt negative towards somebody else, almost as if they felt like I was doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I still feel like they were in the wrong, obviously, because like, what? You know what I mean? But again, it doesn't discredit like how they felt about it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I can be more aware and be like, oh, maybe this person would enjoy this or this and that. But that's hindsight.
Yeah. And that goes back to what you said. Like, you can't control their reaction. Because as you were telling me the story, I'm like, oh, you just going through his post game routine. You know what I mean? Like, when I do my shows and stuff, I'm not one of those ones, unless there's some crazy time crunch where it's extremely rare. I can
we had to like really.
Yeah,
I've done that too.
Yeah, I can probably only think of maybe 2, at most 3, probably not even 3 times where I did a performance, I stuck around for a little bit, and I cut before the joint was even over. Like, that's
I've done that for sure.
But like, typically
You'll stay.
I stick around because I do a lot of showcases, so it's a lot of other artists, or if it's like it's a lot of times it's like how I just pulled up on you the other night, where I knew like 5 out of the 6 or 7 of you guys that was on the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, yo, I'm seeing the homies. Like, I couldn't wait to
also
go.
appreciate you for sliding. Not that you necessarily slid directly for me, but I always appreciate when
I slid for you.
Yeah.
I slip for all of y'all,
Nah,
bro.
for real. But like, I always like appreciate that type of stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Because like people will say that they'll slide, bro. You already.
Oh,
You
yeah, we know. I
You
know.
already know. And it's
Yeah.
again, bro. It's all love.
Yeah,
bro.
what it is. I ain't tripping.
It is. Yeah, it is what
It
it
is.
is. It is what
It is what it is.
But there's a lot of people who say that, and dude, like, oh, bro. For instance, this is so off topic.
Okay.
Speaking of that, dude, I was so juiced at that performance. There was a young lady who came, and she had just randomly seen me at another event. I'm not gonna shout it out so she doesn't know who I'm talking about. But basically, there was another event that I was at, like maybe like a couple days prior. She seen me, came up to me, asked if she could follow me, followed me. I posted this, and then she came to that show. Dude, it felt like so dope because she DM'd me and was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, like, I came to your show. You did great. Like, I seen you at the other show, and I just felt like I should come because it was like right here." And I was like, "Wow, wow." You know what I mean? It's beautiful when you can see the impact.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how small or big. I think that it just like touched my little heart, especially because like I felt like that was a meaningful performance for me. Like it felt good.
It
felt
was a
like,
great show.
Thank you.
I freaking loved it. It was a strong lineup.
Bro, I was
Strong
thoroughly
lineup.
shocked, though, and it was hella funny, bro. I'm a teaser, but Nevaeh was
Yeah.
talking to me, and she was like, "Oh, I like this lineup. I'm not used to people like all the people being so good." She was like, "Sometimes it's like hard to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been there, bro. Where
Yeah,
it's like you're on the show, and then the people going on, you're like, maybe I just don't really vibe with this type of music, you know what I mean? But dude, I thought everyone was
Strong.
incredible.
Starting with the I don't know how to say
I
it.
know.
I'll see.
Don't do it.
I
Don't do
don't
it. He did
wanna-
it, dude. He did it. Look, he doesn't know how to say your name. I think that's very rude. No,
But shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Like,
She was incredible.
I had to holler at her afterwards. I was like, "Yo, I caught on to what you was doing. Like, oh, it's
storyline.
a story.
Yeah, I liked how it kept you going.
Yeah, even when she did the cover, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's slick.
That's smart.
Yeah, because sometimes people do a cover as like a way of warming up, which is fine
Yeah.
and stuff. But she used the cover
She
as part of
infused
the
it.
story.
Yeah, she infused it. If anything, it was one of the climaxes, if anything, or the like when it was rising. You know, it was like damn near the rising action of the whole story. That's why I was like, oh, that's smart, because like you already got us invested into the story. So now like you implemented something that like not only can I sing along, but like you said, it actually is a huge piece to like what this was. I was like, okay,
And we can relate to. We was able, at least I was able to relate to a lot of what she was talking about.
Sure.
Up there. And I was like, oh man, she's like fire, and she was like singing for real. She wasn't like hiding behind tracks or nothing like that.
Yeah.
She was singing for real. I was like, oh yep.
I almost lost my boy in the sauce when he sang.
I was like, oh shoot.
That was funny.
But nah, that was a great show, man. It was a no brainer to pull up. It was a no
dude.
brainer.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad that happened, because now I know that that's one of those lineups, and I'd be down for again.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know I'm in album mode, so some of y'all got records that night.
Yeah, dude. I feel you, bro.
Some of y'all got records in the email that night, bro. Y'all know who y'all are. There's a few of y'all that got them. It's a few of y'all, but man, my goodness, that was a fantastic. Like, I'm looking at the time.
That's crazy.
We ran over.
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at it and I was like, he probably like started it from the other one, because I was looking. I was like, there's no way that we just went that long.
Yeah, I mean that's just 38 minutes.
That's no, but that's what I'm saying. 38 minutes, bro. That's crazy.
It was something about talking about them crash outs, bro.
Yeah. Had us flowing for a second.
But nah, that was dope. Look, we gotta cut it, because eventually your boy got to get to church. But it's been another episode of Unrehearsed. You feel me? We really appreciate y'all tuning in for this one. I'm pretty sure all of y'all watching can relate to this one. Getting out of character, crash outs, having to come back and apologize, growth, all that stuff. It is what it is. Accepting what it is, not getting the closure. I mean, we all deal with stuff like that. Links in the description to download the episodes. We got the YouTube version, but we also got the audio versions all up on all the audio platforms and stuff like that.
Lord.
It's been your boy Deshaun,
And Demir Rod.
and we will catch y'all on the next episode of season 3 Unrehearsed. Yeet!